Hello again, third graders. Again, I'm here reading to you from The Tale of Despereaux by Kate D. Camillo, one of my favorite authors. Remember, we read Flora and Ulysses by her. And what else did we read? I'll have to think on it. I can't remember. All right, we're on chapter 27. If you remember yesterday, we left off. We had met a character named Miggery Sow. She was a little girl who had been sold by her father, and she was outside working one day and saw the king and queen and Princess P go by. It was her birthday, and she waved. The princess waved, but Miggery Sow didn't wave back. I think she was in shock, don't you? This is chapter 27. It's called A Wish. I'm going to hold the book up so you can see it today. That night, in the small, dark hut that she shared with Uncle and the sheep, Meg tried to speak of what she had seen. "Uncle," she said. "Eh?" "I saw some human stars today."
"How's that?"
"I saw them all glittering and glowing, and there was a little princess wearing her own crown and riding on a little white tippy-toed horse."
"What are you talking about?"
said Uncle. "I saw a king and a queen and an itty-bitty princess," shouted Meg.
"So?"
Uncle shouted back. "I would like," said Meg shyly. "I wish to be one of them princesses."
"Ha!" laughed Uncle. "An ugly, dumb thing like you. You ain't even worth the enormous lot I paid for you. Boy, I wish every night that I had back that good hen and that red tablecloth instead of you."
He didn't wait for Meg to guess the answer to his question.
"I do," he said. "I wish it every night. That tablecloth was the color of blood. That hen could lay eggs like nobody's business."
"I want to be a princess," said Meg. "I want to wear a crown."
"A crown," Uncle laughed. "She wants to wear a crown." He laughed harder. He took the empty kettle and put it atop his head. "Look at me," he said. "I'm a king. See my crown? I'm a king just like I always wanted to be. I'm a king just 'cause I want to be one." He danced around the hut with the kettle on his head and laughed until he cried. And then he stopped dancing and took the kettle from his head and looked at Meg and said, "Do you want a good clap to the ear for such nonsense?"
"No, thank you, Uncle," said Meg, but she got one anyway.
"Look here," said Uncle after the clout had been delivered. "We will hear no more talk of princesses. Besides, whoever asked you what you wanted in this world anyway, girl?"
The answer to that question, reader, as you well know, was absolutely no one. Poor Meg. Nobody cares what she wants. Chapter 28, To the Castle. Years passed. Meg spent them scrubbing the kettle and tending the sheep and cleaning the hut and collecting innumerable, uncomfortable, extremely painful clouts to the ear. In the evening, spring or winter, summer or fall, Meg stood in the fields as the sun set, hoping that the royal family would pass by her again. "Gor, I would like to see that little princess another time, wouldn't I? And her little pony, too, with his tippy-toed feet." This hope, this wish that she would see the princess again, was lodged deep in Meg's heart. Lodged firmly right next to it was the hope that she, Miggery Sow, could someday be a real princess herself. The first of Meg's wishes was granted, in a roundabout way, when King Philip outlawed soup. The king's men were sent out to deliver the grim news and to collect from the people of the kingdom of Dor all of their kettles, their bowls, and their spoons. Reader, you know exactly how and why this law came to pass, so you would not be surprised, as Uncle was, when one Sunday a soldier of the king knocked on the door of the hut that Meg and Uncle and the sheep shared and announced that soup was against the law. "How's that?" said Uncle. "By royal order of King Philip," repeated the soldier, "I am sent here to tell you that soup has been outlawed in the kingdom of Dor. You will, by order of the king, never again consume soup. Nor will you think of it or talk about it.
and I, as one of the king's loyal servants, am here to take from you your spoons, your kettle, and your bowls." "But that can't be," said Uncle.
"Nevertheless, it is."
"What are we going to eat? And what are we going to eat it with?"
"Cake?" suggested the soldier. "With a fork?"
"And wouldn't that be lovely," said Uncle, "if we could afford to eat cake?"
The soldier shrugged. "I am only doing my duty. Please hand over your spoons, your bowls, and your kettle."
Uncle grabbed hold of his beard. He let go of his beard and grabbed the hair on his head. "Unbelievable!" he shouted. "I suppose next the king will be wanting my sheep and my girl, seeing as how those are the only possessions I have left."
"Do you own a girl?" asked the soldier.
"I do," said Uncle. "She's worthless, but still she's mine."
"Ah," said the soldier, "that, I am afraid, is against the law too. No human may own another in the kingdom of Dor."
"But I paid for her, fair and square, with a good-looking laying hen and a handful of cigarettes and a blood-red tablecloth."
"No matter," said the soldier. "It is against the law to own another. Now you will hand her over to me, if you please. Your spoons, your bowls, your kettle, and your girl. Or if you choose not to hand over these things, then you will come with me to be imprisoned in the castle dungeon. Which will it be?" And that is how Meggery Sow came to be sitting in a wagon full of soup-related items next to a soldier of the king. Now, why do you think the king outlawed soup? Do you remember how the queen died? Roscuro fell into her soup. So, maybe that's why. "Do you have parents?" asked the soldier to Meggery Sow. "I will return you to them."
"Eh?"
"A ma!" shouted the soldier.
"She's dead,"
said Meg. "Your pa!" shouted the soldier.
"I ain't seen him since he sold me."
Now, why can she not hear well? All those clouts to the ear, remember? "Right, I'll take you to the castle then." "Gore," said Meg, looking around the wagon in confusion.
"You want me to paddle?"
"To the castle!" shouted the soldier. "I'll take you to the castle." She misunderstood him.
"The castle? Where the itty-bitty princess lives?"
"That's right."
"Gore," said Meg. "I aim to be a princess too someday."
"That's a fine dream," said the soldier. He clucked to the horse and tapped the reins, and they took off.
"I'm happy to be going,"
said Meg, putting a hand up and gently touching one of her cauliflower ears. "Well, you might as well be happy, seeing as it doesn't make a difference to anyone but you if you are not happy," said the soldier. "We will take you to the castle, and they will set you up fine. You no longer will be a slave. You will be a paid servant."
"Huh?"
said Meg. "You will be a servant," the soldier shouted. "Not a slave." Sounds like the same thing to me.
"Gore," said Meg. "A servant I will be, not a slave."
She was 12 years old at this point. Her mother was dead, her father had sold her, her uncle, who wasn't her uncle at all, had clouted her in the ear until she was almost deaf, and she wanted more than anything in the world to be a princess. Wearing a golden crown and riding a high-stepping white horse. Reader, do you think that is a terrible thing to hope for when there really is no reason to hope at all? Or is it, as the soldier said about happiness, something that you might as well do, since in the end it really doesn't matter to anyone but you? Think about that again. Is happiness something that you might as well do because it doesn't matter to anybody except you anyway, right? Your parents probably care about your happiness, and your friends do too, but happiness is a choice. You get to decide every day when you wake up whether or not you're going to be happy. So, think about that today. I miss you. I love you. I also love Tale of Despereaux, one of my favorite books. If you like this book, I also recommend that you check out The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, which is also by Kate DiCamillo. You will love it. Bye.